Hey everyone, it's MrBKainX, and I'm joined by admin B.H. We are reviewing the 8th episode of Season 1 of Avatar Last Airbender, uh, Avatar Roku / Winter Solstice Part 2. This is a pretty good episode. I think definitely an improvement from the first part of Winter Solstice. And it's really interesting because we get to see the Fire Nation for the first time, even if it's a small glimpse. We just get to see the characters being really clever in a couple situations. We are introduced to a member of the Fire Nation who's against the war and is loyal to the Avatar and wants to help our heroes. So that's really interesting to see, like, even this early that, there's sort of like good members of the Fire Nation and good people on both sides of the conflict. Or maybe I shouldn't say both sides of the conflict, but good people even in the quote unquote bad nation, just like later we'll see bad people in the quote unquote good nations. And that's a big theme within Avatar. And it's also cool to just see Roku wreck shit. BH, what did you think of this episode?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. In probably in the first 10 episodes of the show, I'd probably say it's my favorite of the first 10 or so
Wow.
episodes. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better than the Avatar Returns, which is probably my second favorite. Just because it basically has like everything you kind of want in an episode. Like it has action, it's got a little bit of comedy, it's got a little bit of spirituality with Roku. It's really, really, really fun and it's very, very action packed. Um, and I really like the idea of adding like the whole time crunch part into the episode, and into the series as well. I think this really sets up, really from here on out, sets up the rest of the series how Aang has to master, the three bending disciplines before the comet comes, and the whole Fire Lord Ozai's sort of idea of using the comet to burn down, not burn down the Earth Kingdom yet, but to wreak havoc. So I really like that about this episode. Like you said, I really like Roku. His introduction is really good. Um, I guess I guess it is the art quality in this one's a little bit lower. Like the other ones, they're animated by DR Movie. Um, so that's the only kind of complaint I kind of have with this one. But overall, I really like it. Very fun episode. Um, and I guess like even like the Zuko part's really fascinating, just with the whole him kind of thinking of that little smoke screen and then having the decoy ship. So that's fun. Yeah, overall, just a really good episode. Definitely one of my favorites in the first 10 or so episodes of book one.
Yeah, it's not the technical middle episode of the show, but it acts pretty much as a good mid-season finale of just not a super big thing, but just a nice, somewhat climactic episode where we have this big last action piece. We have both Zuko and Zhao in the episode, and it does give us this good goal for the series. Like beforehand, we had obviously known that, like, Aang is, we're gonna go to the Northern Air Temple and learn water bending, and Aang at some point will have to master all four elements, and we'll try and defeat the Fire Nation. But now we know it's like you gotta hurry on this stuff. You only have a limited amount of time before he
Yeah.
gets the comet, and he has an insane amount of power to burn shit to the ground. Um,
Yeah, yeah, and I would say there's a lot of like nice like subtle moments in this episode, especially about like Aang's guilt. Because like even like there's like a joke with Sokka, oh, you're 100 years late, and then like Roku kind of like says that joke again, like it just kind of comes off as like, yeah, this probably would be affecting Aang, like hearing um him being kind of like responsible for this, and then you even see him kind of like lash out when like the plan doesn't work because he's like, I put my friends through this all again for nothing. This is all my fault. I
Yeah.
really like them playing with sort of Aang's kind of guilty conscience without it being like too like direct. Is I think it foreshadows the storm pretty nicely in that regard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
We see his guilt about not coming back and about how he feels somewhat responsible for everything that's happened in 100 years. But it's not like too over dramatic about it. He's not like brooding all the
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And then even I forgot what was I say yeah, yeah, like even with like Roku, I really like the whole lava bending thing, and that's really well. I love that scene where he like deflects the fireball and then disperses it back at
yeah.
the firebender.
I love
That's really
how
sick.
scared like Zhao and like
Yeah.
the fire stages are of Roku when he appears. They're just like, "Aw, crap," and they
Yeah.
just start running. Because
Oh yeah.
they know they are no match for the power of a fully realized avatar.
Yeah, and it's great to see that like Roku has we see like the first time past incarnation is like taking over the body of Aang or Korra, or no, just Aang or of Aang. It's like it's really cool to see that. It's like they're like in control of like what's going on, so it's like really cool.
Yeah.
It happens in later episode with
Yeah.
Kyoshi, but
I mean, I
yeah,
think this is definitely a special thing for, like, because of the solstice, because the spirit and human worlds
yeah,
are
they're like
so
merged.
close. But yeah, we do also see it, like, briefly again in the Deserter and Avatar Day. But those basically are, like, they pop in, they say something quick. This is different, where it's like he's literally, like, unleashing an intense amount of power on these people.
Yeah.
So it's very impressive just to like see this feat of like what a avatar can do when they've
Oh
mastered
yeah.
the elements. Um,
Yeah.
I will say in advance that I do find it somewhat odd in some of the episodes that um like in a lot of the book one fillerish episodes, part of me almost feels like maybe this could have been a bit later, because in some of the filler ish episodes, like Visit a Town episodes of Book One, um, it feels like they've forgotten that there's this big time crunch of they gotta hurry, get to the north. You only got a couple months. It's not a big deal, I don't think, and like a lot of the episodes do have good reasons for why they stick around. But a similar thing happens in Book 3 where they have another time crunch of we gotta make it for the invasion in time for the eclipse, and they still have time to stick around and do things. But you have characters like Sokka that like mention, "Hey, we gotta hurry up with this thing, though." So it would have been nice to maybe like see a bit of that in book one.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree. But yeah, I mean, and I guess like the ending, I really like the whole ending of this episode, how it ends where it's just Aang, Sokka, and Katara on Appa,
Yeah,
where
flying through. That's an
it's not
iconic ending.
it's such an iconic ending, and it doesn't like it's not like Aang saying, "Oh God, I gotta master three elements now before the comet comes and beat Ozai." It's the perfect like metaphor for like show to like don't tell kind of, which I
Yeah.
really this is one of the things I love about the Last Airbender is definitely not telling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think, oh, one
yeah,
more thing I definitely want to mention is earlier in the episode, like the really cool scenes of them flying through the blockade and like over the clouds and like Aang hitting back the fire, like kicking back with air the fireball. There's definitely like that's a cool little action piece in the beginning of the episode,
oh
and
yeah,
it's
and then
also nice to see Iroh.
also
Oh, what were you saying?
yeah, no, you were gonna say about
Yeah, it's nice to
Iroh.
see Iroh get like he's not like super bright. This is one where he's like being like pretty critical and serious with Zuko. He's not just like saying, "Oh, chill." but he's being serious. Like, consider what you're doing. You may risk, like, getting into even worse trouble. And he mentions, like, my brother is not a very understanding person. So Ozai
Yeah,
uh, Ozai and Iroh never have a conversation in the show. But this is one of the times he mentions him, and of course, it's not very flattering. Um, so yeah, I think that's all. It is a really. I think now even I feel like it's almost somewhat underrated because I kind of forgot how many good things this episode has. It's not the greatest, or even the best in book one, but it has like a lot of nice little moments. Uh, we, just building on themes and like a nice good mid-season finale with action, humor, some dramatic moments, and like building on the themes, expanding the lore, all that good stuff. Do you have any final thoughts?
I guess it's just I the first episode that sets up kind of the Zhao Zuko sort of cat and mouse capturing. Is in the Southern Air Temple. It's kind of mentioned, but it's about their rivalry. So this one deals with more of the Yang to Firelord Ozai. So yeah, that's probably the last thoughts I have on the
Oh yeah,
episode.
you know what? You're right, cause yeah, episode 3 we're introduced to Zhao. Episode uh 4 is Kyoshi Warriors, just Zuko, no Zhao.
Hmm.
Um,
And then
5 and
6 is
6,
just Zuko.
neither of them are in it. 6 Zuko cameos in 6, but basically neither of them are in 5 and 6. Uh, and then episode 7 is
Cameos at
Zuko
the
as
end.
a separate subplot. But yeah, so this is really where we see sort of the Zhao directly getting in the way of Zuko's hunt for the Avatar, and him
Oh
trying
yeah,
to get the Avatar for himself, as well as, like, basically just mess with Zuko.
yeah. He's definitely the perfect book one foil to Zuko, and
Yeah, he's great. I love
yeah,
Zhao. Zhao,
and a
I love how
lot
he
of
walks in and he's clapping at them, and it's great.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, a lot of people don't like Zhao, but I definitely love
Yeah.
Zhao.
I mean,
Not obviously,
he's not like a super deep character or anything,
no,
but
but
he works
he
he
fits the
works
role.
great for what he is. For like this foil, and like just like we'll get to some other moments later, but he's just like
Yeah,
this sadistic, egotistical, power hungry, and he's just such an enjoyable villain to watch, I think.
yeah,
I think like
definitely.
he's the epitome of like he's a jerk, and he like loves being a jerk to people. He
Yeah,
revels in it, and it's great.
yeah.
So I think that's basically it. That is our review of episode 8. Be sure to come back for episode 9. Subscribe, like, comment your own thoughts on the episode, like the page, all that good stuff, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.